Okay. Should be live again. Should be back. Let me turn down the fan actually real quick because I feel like that's kind of noisy. That should be better. Hopefully. Especially since I turned on my mic a little bit more. This is probably picking that up a little bit worse than it normally does. Okay. Hey guys! So we're back with the probably final stream of everything. And as I promised on the last video of this, all happened before and I'll die again. Cheers to live. See it takes orca, see it would have this sea will swallow me bristle. It pass into nothing. Okay. That's cool. Anyways, yeah. So like last time we played this, I promised that we'd go and check out the Golden Gate and what lies beyond it. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. I just need to figure out where the hell that Golden Gate is. I know it wasn't on this ice continent, I don't think. I got an achievement called Scale Cyclist. I'm Oak. How the hell do I figure out where the Golden Gate is? Yeah, everything should be still set fine, I think. Yeah. I guess I just gotta figure out. I need to ascend. How do I ascend? Oh, I can sing. I forgot about that. Well, we're just gonna enjoy this nice chill experience of being a rock, moving around on our own. I am a rock. Huge. So what do rocks feel about snowy days? I can't stand them. They get my face all snowy and it itches like crazy. What are you? A bush? I am a globe cedar. Right, I need to figure out where the hell this Golden Gate is. I can become an even bigger boulder. A rock large. I am a rolling rock. Not quite a rolling stone, but you know, it's fine. I want to be a fox. That's not a fox, that's a donkey. I think. A horse, a wild horse. I don't know if I can find the Golden Gate on every continent, like every type of continent, or if I have to go to a specific one. Like the specific one that I started on, because if I have to go to the very specific one, it's going to be a little harder to pinpoint exactly where it is. Right, I wanted to get a... How do I get them to follow me again? Right, X, okay. let's go find this audio one over here. Change your level of magnification.
Now, we come here to an extremely important principle, which is the different points of view you get when you change your level of magnification. That is to say, you can look at something with a microscope and see it a certain way. You can look at it with the naked eye and see it in a certain way. You look at it with a telescope and you see it in another way. Now, which level of magnification is the correct one? Well, obviously, they're all correct. They're just different points of view. When we examine our bloodstreams under a microscope, we see there's one hell of a fight going on. All sorts of microorganisms are chewing each other up. And if we got overly fascinated with our view of our own bloodstreams in the microscope, we should start taking sides, which would be fatal, because the health of our organism depends on the continuance of this matter. What is, in other words, conflict at one level of magnification is harmony at a higher level. Now, could it possibly be, therefore, that we, with all our problems, conflicts, neuroses, sicknesses, political outrages, wars, tortures, and everything that goes on in human life, are a state of conflict which can be seen in a larger perspective as a situation of harmony?
Huh. I'm a black bear, and I've managed to get some elk on my side. Oh hey, chimpanzees too. And black squirrels. And gorillas. I have the best squad just rolling out right now. Hell yeah. Squad roll out! Will I be remembered a century from now? What about even 10 years? What's the point of it all? The point is what you make of it, man. Gotta just live while you're alive. Be good to people and build communities of varying different mindsets and species and perspectives, and that's how you grow, is you learn from those you have. I feel like you grow. It might sound strange, but I think I used to be a gorilla once. I know I look like a rock and all, and I am, but I have a feeling I wasn't always. And there's something in me that's the same as you. Like, you'll always be able to find some form of common ground, I feel like, if you look hard enough. And even if it's hard to find that, a lot of the times, I feel like you can learn more from the people you don't have stuff in common with than the ones that you do. Because at least you can, like... They're the ones that... As they differ from you so much that it leads to entirely new ways of thinking that you might not have thought of before, and you might never have actually gotten to if you didn't take these other varying perspectives into account. I don't know. There's a lot more to be said for dialogue than just shutting out people you disagree with right away, I feel like. I have an amazing imagination for everything except my own. Inevitable non-existence. And obviously not every perspective is going to be as valid, but like, as long as people aren't hurting anybody, should be able to at least make that attempt and open a dialogue, because then you might be able to bring them over to your side easier if it ends up that you are the right one anyway. I don't know, man. Just be nice to people. Like...
And you could say, aha, At last, I see. I got the point. I've seen how all this makes sense. But what this insight depended upon was your overcoming the illusion that space separates things. That is to say, the space, the interval between your body and mine. The interval created by birth at one end and death at the other. And then after somebody's death, then somebody else's birth. These are events with intervals between them. And normally we regard these intervals in time and these intervals in space as having no importance, no function. We tend to see the universe itself as really consisting in all the stars and galaxies. That's what it is. That's what we notice. But the space in which all this happens is sort of written off as something that isn't really there. But what one has to realize is that the space is an essential function of the things in the space. After all, you can't have separate stars unless there is a space around. Eliminate the space and you will see you couldn't have this phenomenon at all. And vice versa. You couldn't have the space. They wouldn't be there in any sense whatsoever if there weren't the bodies in it. So the bodies in the space and the space are two aspects of a single continuum. They're related together in exactly the same way as a back and a front. And you just don't get one without the other.
Keep your darkness to yourself and your family and closest friends and acquaintances and everyone you meet. Thanks. Okay. I will remember to do that, Rock. Psst. I'll tell you a secret. This is all my land. I own every blade of grass you see. I'll let you hang out here for now. But if you so much as look at me the wrong way, I'll have you banished. Now leave me alone so I can waste away my life in peace. Ah, yes, the delusions of ownership over anything that exists. We humans struggle with that a lot, too. We don't own this earth. It was here a long time before us. And it will continue to be a long time after us. Everything's so green and stuff, and I don't really mind it and things, and I've missed part of it. Damn. Oh well. It's fine. Just gonna keep rolling out, talking to things. I think I do need to go to a different continent to get to the Golden Gate. So, apologies, it's gonna probably take me a little longer to actually find it than I thought. If I ever made another maple that is an opening for a new friend, what will I say? How can I trick it into liking me until I die? Just be yourself. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out. Sure of it. I'm really enjoying the snow this afternoon. Come on. When will this awful night end? I've just about had enough snow for tonight. Time for something else. Yeah, too much snow can get really tiring really quickly. I can definitely relate to that. So this, okay, that's cool. You can add all sorts of different stuff, and then that's how you get the different... Wait, what? In which case it's not serious in this way. What? Ooh, got an apple tree coming with us. And boxwood. And fir, Douglas firs, and driftwood. I don't care if I just melt into the grass. It's a good thing, because that is most certainly going to happen. Yeah, we'll all fade away to nothing, given enough time. Every last one of us. Even the universe as a whole has an expiration date. Don't know exactly how it's going to happen. With a long enough period of time, it will. Nothing lasts forever. Probably quite literally, actually. Let's go down to this one. Oh, I'm a squirrel. I'm a squirrel. I'm adorable. I'm a red squirrel. Space is connective.
So the moment you see that intervals, that space is connective, you can understand at once how you are not just to be exclusively defined as a flash of consciousness that occurs between two eternal darknesses. That you consider that in the darkness that comes before your birth, there was no you, and in the eternal darkness that follows your death, there is likewise no you. And I'm going to discuss these matters not by appealing to any special spooky knowledge, as if I had been traveling on the higher planes and knew all my previous incarnations and therefore could tell you authoritatively that you are much more than this individuality. I'm going to do it on a basis of complete common sense, that everybody has access to the facts.
Right, I think... I forgot you can, hold down B to, like, give birth to a new one? Oh, no, that's how you get rid of them. How do you... Oh, maybe you hold down the... Let's speak. How do I... There was a way to, like, procreate, if I remember correctly. I don't know where... How? Dance, hold down Y, okay. I'm a grass clump. Hold on, I have to cough and I don't want to deafen you guys. Alright, that should be better, I think. It is kind of cool how it auto-plays, so you can just kind of carry on. What was that? This looks like a decent place to raise my kids. I just need to find another wild horse that'll put up with me for a while. And I'm an absolute nightmare of a wild horse. Oh well. Sure you'll find somebody for you eventually, buddy. And if not, that's okay too. Sometimes you don't need another person to complete you, you know? Sometimes it's okay to be alone. To be comfortable with your own skin is, I think, one of the most important. Like, and your own silence. Just to be comfortable in your own company is one of the most important things to figure out how to do in life. Death is the most certain absolute element in my life. But to be honest, I'm mostly worried about other eagles gossiping about me. And then worrying that they never even think of me. I keep getting sidetracked by all the various things to do. I live by one simple rule. The less bird-like you are, the less likely I am to beat you up. That's not a good way to live your life. Speciest. Are you there? Tell me you're there. I need to know. I can't stand it any longer. What's the point of doing anything if it's all gonna end? I'm very afraid, and I know I shouldn't be, but I don't know what to do. Sometimes it's okay to be afraid. Nobody has everything all figured out. It's not like life comes with a handbook. You know? There is no necessarily end-all, be-all way to get through it, either. It's a journey, and a big part of it's just figuring out how to approach your own journey. A pattern of immense complexity.
Life is a pattern of immense complexity. And what you call yourself as a living organism, say, I am my whole body at the very least. Now, what is that body? That body is recognizable, and I recognize my friends when I meet them again, and you recognize me. Although the last time any of you saw me, I was absolutely something entirely different from what I am now. Just as the flame of a candle is never a constant. The flame of a candle is a stream of hot gas. Only you say the flame of the candle as if it were a constant. Well, it is a recognizably constant pattern. But in exactly the same way, we are all constant patterns. And that's all we are. The only thing constant about us at all is the doing rather than the being. It's the way we behave, the way we dance. Only there's no we that dances. There's just the dancing. There is no thing that whirlpools. There is the whirlpool. And in the same way, each one of us is a very, very delightfully complex undulation of the energy of the whole universe.
Huh. It's an interesting way of putting it. So when I try to dance with the boats, they all just kind of get like right up in each other in a way that boats shouldn't be able to. Just want to find this golden gate. Time is now. Use it. Time is to come. Anticipate it. I think it was on a green continent. I think that's the one I had to go on to. Right, and down we go. Alright. Let me readjust real quick. Is that a... It's like villages here. Yeah. I'm a roundhouse. Bronze fire pit, torch, and other stuff. Okay. Yeah, inanimate objects just seem to kind of like bunch together when I try to do the dance thing. That was weird. I'm not entirely sure that's how that's supposed to work. Just teleporting on top of the rock. That's okay. We'll roll with it. What a phony vacation this whole thing is. I barely arrived here. Now I need to pack my bags and head back to Maple Heaven. Hope you fare better than me, friend. I mean, I guess even trees, like, even though they have such a longer lifespan, I'm sure it's never quite feels like enough time, you know? Did I just wake up inside a nightmare of my own dreaming? You need to get me out of here. Please, get me out of here. You're fine. Calm down. Everything's cool.
Because life is basically a game of hide and seek. Because life is pulsation. On and off. Here it is, and now it isn't. And by being this pulsation, we know it's there. Now, from those very tiny fast rhythms, which give us the impression of continuity, there are also in this universe immensely slow rhythms. And these are very difficult for us to keep track of. And they impress us and depress us as our own life and death, as our coming and going, which goes for what is to us such a slow pace that we can't possibly believe that it is really a rhythm. We think of it as our birth, as something quite unique that could never occur again, because we're so close to it, you see, and it's moving so slowly.
Life's ever-shrinking remainder isn't the only thing you need to be thinking about. Consider the fact that your mind is going to deteriorate before your body, affecting your judgment, coordination, memory. So hurry up. Dear everyone, not just because every second brings you closer to death, but because your mind and understanding may leave before you. It's a good point. Especially for people that have Alzheimer's and things like that. Like, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to enjoy every moment. And that's why... well, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to enjoy the future. Which is why you have to grasp every moment. You're nothing more than a moment of activity in this environment. And soon you won't be. Go out and make yourself necessary to the world. And it necessary to you. Maybe the lake? No, I can't be bodies of water within continents, at least. Only find the outward, go out, and then comes back to find them. For nonconformity, you'll be whipped with hate and disgust. But know their feelings have no deep cause, and change along with the wind. Their rage is always in proportion to their weakness. All existing things are a result of either chance or providence. There's no way to punish chance or put a stop to providence. Alright, I guess these huge rocks will probably give us the best chance to find the Golden Gate quicker. I grow and it grows. It grows and I grow. I live and it lives. I sniff the air. And it sniffs the air. Oh, pretty. Process of growth.
The process of growth, the basic process of biology, is one in which lower orders are always being superseded by higher orders. But the lower order can never figure out, or only very rarely figure out, what the higher order is that's taking over. And may see it as a terrible threat, as total disaster, as the very end. But can never be aware that the principle of growth always has and always will continue. Because that's what's going on. But you never know what the next step is going to be. Because if you did know, you wouldn't take it. Because it would already be past. Do you understand this? That any certainly known future is an event of which we can say, you've had it. And in that sense, it's past. When we play a game, the outcome of the game becomes certain. We at that point cancel the game and begin a new one. Because the whole zest of the thing, which takes me back to the idea that this whole thing is a hide-and-seek game, is that you don't know what the next order coming up is.
Slowly filling out all of my categories, but those are going to take a while. I'm a barrier, so sunny days don't bother me that much. They used to when I was younger. One thing that I'm kind of wondering is if those snippets of dialogues that you can get are... Hold on. Life is easy, friend, as long as you're never afraid of work. Sparing in your wants, you attend to your own needs. Mind your own business and never listen to gossip. So I'm wondering if some of those snippets are actually interchangeable between species. So like if I was something else, or like if I had found a different species, would that have been the same message from the barrier, but with the name swapped out for whatever species it was? And if that's the case, that's kind of a cool way of highlighting the fact that even within each perspective, or like species perspective, there's smaller and more varied perspectives, where like just because you are something specific doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to fall into the exact same way of thinking as another member of that perspective, that like of that group that holds those inherent qualities. All elms carry their own destiny. Their death is decided from the moment of conception. It is kept secret to all but them. I don't know if any of that made any sense. Like I said earlier in the stream before this one, I am super overtired. I've been up for really long. What are those things that were popping up there? Come on, I wanna talk to this. There we go. No, stop bubble. There we go. Sometimes I feel kind of ugly. I should stop thinking about that stuff.
We have this rather myopic way of looking at things, and we screen out from attention anything that is not immediately important to a scanning system based on sensing danger. But quite obviously, you as a complete individual are much more than the scanning system. You are in relationships with the external world that on the whole are incredibly harmonious. The energies of life in the form of temperature, light, air, and food, and so on, are streaming through you all at this moment in the most magnificently harmonious way. When anything is constant, it says, okay, that's safe, it's in the bag, needn't pay attention to that anymore. And therefore, we eliminate systematically from our awareness all the gorgeous things that are going on all the time, and instead only become focused on the things, the troublesome things that might happen to upset it. Which is all right, but we make too much of it. We make so much of it that we identify our very selves, I, ego, with the radar, with the troubleshooter. And that's only a tiny fragment of one's total being.
I don't like the look of this grass. It's just gonna swallow me up. Swallow your soul. There's no such thing as a consistent dolmen's life. It can be anything, and there's no reason to try to force yourself to be consistent. Your aim should only be to benefit of the world you find yourself in. To adjust yourself to its nature. Here is how your actions, one after another, will find consistency. So basically learn from your surroundings. And ever attempt to strive to improve the world around you and leave it better than when you first got there. In a brief while, now we will be ashes. A passing thought, a name. Though a name isn't more than an empty sound. All we set our hearts on is vanity, corruption and trash. What keeps us here? There'll be some roundhouses. So, I haven't seen any people, just what they build and ships. But no actual humans, yet. This summer has gone on long enough. I'm boycotting it until it gives. I've been practicing my serious tree stare all day. Watch me. Yeah, as part of a little side tangent, where the hell is this Golden Gate? And how do I find it? Do I just have to wait until I stumble across it? I'm searching for it, but if I can't find it in a while, I'm gonna actually look up and see if there's a reliable way to pinpoint it. I can leave this forest anytime I want, but I'm happy here.
You very soon realize that your existence is not something that is just the hopeless little creature that's suddenly confronted with a great big external world that goes gah at him, you know, and eats him up. Every tiniest little thing that comes into being, every minute little fruit fly or gnat or bacterium, I will go so far as to say, is an event upon which this whole cosmos depends. This thing goes both ways. It's not only that every little organism which exists depends on its total environment. The reverse is also true, that the total environment depends on each and every one of those little organisms. So that you could say, this universe consists of an arrangement of pattern in which every event is essential to the whole thing. Now, we screen that idea out of our consciousness in exactly the same way that we screen out the perception of space as an important reality. Just as we pay attention to the figure and ignore the background, so we see one way of looking at things, namely that the organism is very frail against the environment. It lasts a long time, the environment, but the organism only lasts a short time. What do you mean the environment lasts a long time? What does the environment consist of? Just a lot of little things. When you get far enough away from all the organisms and the little bits of things, you see the environment in another scale of magnification. But actually, the whole thing is arranged in a polar system, where the enormous depends on the tiny and the tiny depends on the enormous. And you get a relationship between these extremes, which can be called a transaction. They always go together. So in this way, we are always, as it were, overemphasizing a certain aspect of our experience.
Finally, summertime. I've been waiting for this. I'm a whole bunch of monoliths. Here's this stupid golden... It'll be a juniper again. Is there a way... Like, there's no map or anything, right? My mind is racing ever since I started talking to this elm from another forest. I don't know what to say, and I don't want to mess it up. I can't stop thinking about them. Ah! Somebody's either got social anxiety or a crush. I'm a piggy pig. Or a boar. Close enough. Basically just a wild pig. I tried counting the grass around me, but I gave up quickly. Yeah, it seems kind of futile. There's a lot of grass around. But yeah, boars are basically just feral pigs. If you take a normal pig and it's out in the wild by itself for a long enough period of time, it'll revert back to a boar pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. With tusks and everything. Soon you'll become nothing, and soon too you will be soon too will everything you see, and every boars you know, and all those will know in the future. All things are born to pass away, so others may come to be. Smell of either chance or put up inside decent place something something. As soon as you wish to please anyone but yourself, the game is over. The jig is up. I like being part of a forest. Life is lonely when you're out there on your own. I tried it for a while, but eventually found my way back. Yeah, B releases things back into the wild.
We say now, what is important about people? Is their unique individuality? And we have been given an immense psychic investment in our own individuality by our upbringing. What are you going to amount? What are you going to contribute to human life? What's your particular destiny going to be? It's a fine idea. But the thing we don't understand is that it won't work, this great idea, without being balanced with its opposite.
Huh. Interesting. So you can just like straight up set it on autoplay. And change exactly what you want it to do and how you want it to act with stuff. Interesting.
Just as you can't have the back without the front. So you cannot have the values of a unique personality unless at the same time everybody recognizes that there is another level at which we're not unique at all, but that I am you and you are I. See, every one of you feels that you're the center of the universe, and that everything else is happening around you in a circle. You can turn around, and you can see sort of equally far in all directions, especially if you're in a ship in the middle of the ocean. So you're in the middle. And it's true from the standpoint of astronomy. We live in a curved space-time continuum, that is to say, in a universe at which every point may be regarded as the center. Consider a sphere. Here's a ball. What point on this ball is the center of its surface? You can see at once that any point can be the center of its surface. So legitimately, all points in the universe are the center.
I mean, it's an interesting way of thinking about it, yeah. With the universe expanding constantly, there is that idea of everything. There is no one center to the universe. There is no fixed point that you can actually pinpoint as like, and like everything is just relative to something else. And if everything in the universe follows that, I guess. I don't know. Philosophy, man. It's always been extremely interesting to me, but I'm the Planck length. So, from what I'm seeing about the Golden Gate thing is you basically just gotta wander around until you find it. I thought it'd be a little bit easier to find, but supposedly given enough time, if you leave it on autoplay, it will make its way back there for you. But I'd rather kind of take control for a little bit and shape my own destiny for a while. A little more hands-on. I'm assuming it's just randomly on like on a continent somewhere of a specific type. I do like the way that you can kind of clump things together the way that it actually does in the universe, where things will naturally gravitate towards other things because of gravity, hence why the gravitation. But it's, I don't know, it's just interesting to think about how ordered the universe is just because of a handful of basic fundamentals about our universe, the way that things function. Then when stuff condenses, it becomes like a star, and that allows the birth of other heavier elements that will then create more planets, and it's just a cycle. Without, I accidentally had that thing join me instead of reading what the thought was. Oops. Man, the sense of scale is rather impressive.
We are all like the nerve ends on your own skin. See, at every point on your skin, there's a little nerve end going beep and getting information from the outside world. Another and another and another, all over. and they all constitute your total sensitivity. Well, so in the same way, and all these people sitting around here, with their little eyes and little ears and things, they're going beak, and they're all really one common center called I, which is looking at itself from ever so many different points of view. Only we are so close to it, and we are so absorbed in the different ways each one of them is doing, that we neglect the community underneath. But we don't realize, you see, that just as we know how to do this, we know equally well how to turn the sun into light, how to blue the sky.
Forgot it doesn't continue
how
on.
How to blow the wind.
You pause.
How to wave the ocean.
Sorry.
How to digest food. And I might add, to be digested and transformed. But the pattern keeps going. And it's always you. Only you see you have this marvelous capacity to transform yourself without knowing that you're doing it. Therefore, you keep surprising yourself. And therefore, you keep on doing it. Because if you didn't surprise yourself, you wouldn't go on doing it. It's just the very fact, you see, that you seem to be the victims of a thing you don't understand, and that you seem to conclude your life every time in a wipeout called death, where all your control goes, is just exactly that opposite condition to what you call being alive that allows you to be alive.
You are one note in a symphony that was waiting to be played since the beginning of time. And here you are, and soon you won't be. So sound as brightly as you possibly can. Nice, I've almost got all the stars. Alright, that's the one thing I did want to do. That down slightly. All right. There's question marks still at the bottom that I need to figure out what those mean. Dance, often, think. Yeah. So let's set it to that, I guess, and then. So dance should be Y. Join is X, A is think. Flock mode, what is that? Influence dance? Huh. Right, I need to read over this real quick because it's been a while. And I've got the basic gist of how things work, but I feel like there's stuff I'm missing because I'm not as fresh with the controls as I was. Right, okay. Yeah. Alright, yeah. I get it. So I have to wait for that thing to... Forget if there's a maximum amount of things that you can have. I think there is a maximum amount of connections you can have. You're here to enjoy the universe and everything it has to offer. And it is here to enjoy everything you have to give. So in that case, actually, I'm going to put dance to that, and then I'm going to... Yeah, no, leave release on rarely. I'm going to keep that like that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Not like I'm going to be using the autoplay that much, but... What? I forgot I could transform. What is that? Why when 2 more things to exit the dance mode? Oh, right. Oh, I can change the dance patterns? Okay. If frustrated, let go of the controller. Alright. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's actually really cool.
One of the first things which everybody should understand is that every creature in the universe that is in any way sensitive and in any manner of speaking conscious regards itself as a human being. That is to say, it knows and is aware of a hierarchy of beings above it and a hierarchy of beings below it. If you take such a tiny creature as a fruit fly, which lives only a few days, it is aware of all sorts of weird little animals and objects and spores floating in the atmosphere which we don't even notice unless we've got a microscope around. And it criticizes them as being inferior animals and all that sort of thing, whereas human beings are things that it doesn't comprehend. They're as much outside its intellect as a quasar is outside ours. And we see these far-off objects floating in the heavens, and we have only the vaguest idea of what they may be. But there is, I think, a fundamental principle that everybody must understand, and that is the principle of relativity. That is to say that wherever you are, and whoever you are, and whatever you are, you're in the middle. That's the game.
Alright, I am going to descend down to an area where we would actually be able to... It all appears mutually. Whatever we Whenever we find what connects us, we call it love. And we will seek more of it and reinforce it forever. So yeah, I will go down in scale to an actual island size to try to find the Golden Gate again. But first, I wanna stick around a little bit more. I'm so close to having the stars finished. I want to try and see if I can maybe find the other two real quick. Nothing can ever happen to you that isn't in accordance with nature. This is... yeah? Okay, I mean, yeah. You get the bigger picture now? It's the same as the smaller picture. And all the other pictures. The pictures that there are no pictures. Is that a black hole? I think it might be. I think that might be one of the missing stars. Is it dark matter? Are you? Dark matter! I called it. It's under other. I've only got 8% of other, huh? There we go. Diffuse nebula. Nice. Okay, so only stuff of like similar stuff. Like similar category. In the same category. Only things that are like will clump together when you hold down the X button. Don't think about numbers, think about proportion.
When you stand and you can see a horizon all around you to exactly the same distance, you're in the center of a circle because your senses extend a certain direction in all directions and therefore give you the impression of being in the middle. Now, everything in the world feels like that. And also it has its own kind which look natural to it. You see spiders and hydras and sea urchins and so on don't look very natural to us. We say, well, I wouldn't want to look like that. But they say when they see us, well, what kind of an awful thing is that? And what a lot of nonsense it does. Because the definition of a person is where you look from. And they, you see, in their situation, feel just as cultured as we can possibly feel. And they have their distinctions and their snobberies, just in the same way that we do. Because you see, they dig all sorts of things that we don't even notice. We think a person is cultured because they play the piano or the violin or they read poetry or they have a big library and they have paintings all around and they have a fancy house and so on, and we say, well, there's a person of culture, and we can see at once that this is really some rather elegant human being. But when you get down into the world of fishes, they have exactly the same thing. Only, instead of depending on collecting a lot of books and things like that, it is the precise way, the very subtle wiggles of a tail, the little tremors of vibration that makes one fish a very superior fish as compared with other fish. And all the other fish look at that one and say, oh my, to be like that, what a genius. To be able to do just that little extra thing, see? Because they're very sensitive. Even airplanes in formation can't begin to do what birds and fish can do in their communal swirling dances that they do.
There's nothing to get, only things to get rid of. Huh. Alright. Well, we've dicked enough with that for now. Let's go with a random transformation. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was gonna be still floating in space like this. I figured it would, like, transform us into something and take us back down to that size. But nope, we got gigantic torches floating in space that are the size of entire galaxies. Bigger, even. That's... okay, that's enough dancing. Alright. Let's go talk to this one. I need to figure out how to... Anxiety is born from forgetting the past, ignoring the present, and fearing the future. We'll always find new causes, and those that have everything and those that have nothing at all. Life will never stop presenting more distractions, keeping you waiting for the next thing, and then ensuring you never enjoy it when it arrives. So I feel kind of bad about not reading out some of those when, like, the dialogue's going on. But I don't really want to waste time waiting for the dialogue to end before I read these. So, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do another stream of this at some point in the future. But if I do, leave me a comment letting me know if you'd rather me actually read out all these or just kind of do as I've been doing when, like, dialogue's been going on, and let them keep them on screen for you guys to pause and read if you really want to. Kind of like that. Because I'm totally down to do either or if I end up playing more of this game. Everything does it differently. Well, it does everything differently. And everything it does is different. Also, all of it is the same. Yes. Alright, need to find a way to go and be small.
Here is a very strange thing. That every creature, therefore, which feels that it is human, and which knows that it's there in the same way as you know you're here, experiences being here as constituting a sort of blockage. The sensation of a certain tension which constitutes the feeling of I-ness, of there-ness, of being here. Because after all, every creature is a particular form. Everything is individual. Not only you as a total organism standing here, but all the component cells of your body. Each one of them has some sort of a feeling of its own. And it is individual. You can look at a microscope at the right level of magnification, and you can see that thing there with its own little life. And if you examine the stream of your blood, you'll find it full of all kinds of organisms that are having all sorts of conspiracies and games and plots and eating each other and doing these things that, like we do. Only we realize that we wouldn't be healthy as a total organism unless there were all these wars and fights and plots and politics going on between the various cells in our blood. But from their point of view, you see, they feel a little bit put out because they're being organized.
Nice. Making progress. Getting a lot of things. Ooh. Is that Aurora Borealis? Can I become that? If for some reason I don't get to the Golden Gate in this one, then I will definitely be playing more of this. But I'm gonna do my best to actually manage to make it to the Golden Gate before I finish this stream. But depends on the time. You'd rather wish for goodness to arrive tomorrow than it be it today. Yeah, because to be it today just means a lot of work, man. People don't want to do that. Why would you want to put in effort? In case you couldn't tell, that's sarcasm. You gotta put in effort. Be good people. Be the change you wish to see in the world. I want to become the Aurora Borealis, but I can't. Looks like there's a little bit of pixelation around. All of us work together towards the same end. Some intentionally, others not. One stratus cloud does this, another does that. Even the things preventing others from their duty play their part. Yeah, it does seem like it's interchangeable. Just depends on what you're talking to at any given time, which is actually really cool because it further breaks down those walls in between different things. Do whatever comes to you with dignity, humanity, independence, and justice, and nothing more. Those few things are all you need to master. This is possible if you approach every action as your last. You will easily ignore distraction. Desire to make an impression, selfishness, and unhappiness with your lot in life. I'm a what? Why am I such big clouds all of a sudden? What if the air broke up with all the light in the sky? Who would raise us? Oh my god, I'm adorable. Look at me. I'm a horseshoe crab. It's so cute. Dolphin. I'm gonna stick with the horseshoe crab for now. I need to get up there, actually. With the cumulus cloud, I need to be something slightly smaller. Jesus, I need to transform into something else. Sure, I get it. The air is exploding with colors. But it gets boring after a while. Once you've seen one sunset, you've seen them all. Why are these clouds expanding like this? I don't think it's supposed to be like that. What is going on? I feel a voice inside my head. It's speaking all the time, always finding ways of relating each thing to something else. Don't know if it all makes sense when I say it. It comes out like... But not everything understands that. I don't think that cloud is supposed to be like that. What is... Is this game glitched out right now? It might be. We can never know each other as separate things. We will try to compare, but always find ourselves infinitely distant. Our nature is immovable. You'll always be that part of the pattern, and I'm in this. We might find overlap in some more than others. This will seem more like us than that. We might even fall in love, but as long as they're that and we're this, we'll never be the same. It's only when we feel ourselves to be the entire pattern can we know each other. Feeling I'm in you and you're in me. And we're in everything, and it's in us. Of course, if we felt that way, there'd be nothing to talk about, nothing to think about. It would be beautiful, but rather boring. Oh my god, these clouds are tripping me out. I'm 90% sure it's not supposed to be like this. You explore here seeking seclusion, happiness, relaxation. Nothing is quieter than within your own mind, and exploring it requires no effort at all. Visit yourself as often as you can. Doing so will never make returning to your work a daunting task. Back. How can leave my head? It's speaking all else, and those that and nothing at all. Visit yourself of each other as you get. Okay, alright, hold on. Save, exit. Let me see if I can get this to not be glitched out. Let me try rebooting it real quick and see if that helps. Formless form. Everything transforms itself into itself. Nice. Still a decent amount of locked achievements left. There we go. Everything is loaded. Synchronizing achievements. Oh, nope. It's still a little wonky, but, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Did it update itself recently and that fucked it? Maybe I should go to a different... What is... Why do I always find every glitch? I'm gonna have to put a fucking epilepsy warning in this too, aren't I? Maybe the transform thing is just kind of broken. All of us work together towards the same end. Some intentionally, others not. One Aurora does this, another does that. Yeah. Thought I already got that one. Alright, let's... Oh, I've made it worse. I've made it worse. It's King fucking Kong. It's important. It's more important to feel something. Or is it more important to feel something or to know something? A mixture of both, I guess. And a giant pig, too. I feel like I've botched the game. I feel like I've messed it up. I can't decide if I'd rather be fish food or go out with some huge natural disaster. I suppose none of it will matter, though. Alright, what I'm gonna do, maybe if I ascend and go to a different planet, this will fix this. Let's go find a different planet to go. Alright, we're a sun. What is this? Oh, comet, maybe? An asteroid. Open another category. So I feel like the transform option is slightly broken. Just maybe. Gas giant? Sand planet, huh? Oh, this is new. Coconut tree, Montgomery palm, baobabs, date trees. So it's basically just like a desert area.
There is this sensation of practically every living being of constituting a center of tension and of resistance. That is to say, of being a little bit blocked, or shall I say, of being in the way, being in one's own way. Imagine the opposite. Let us suppose, for example, that you got up in the morning with a feeling of total transparency. There's no resistance in your organism to the external world. You just float through it. You're part of it, it's part of you. And just in the same way, for example, that when you see, if you see well, you aren't aware of your eyes. But if there's something wrong with your eyes, and you see spots in front of you, then you are looking at your eyes, and your eyes are getting in your own way. And so in exactly the same way, the perfect form of man is unaware of himself, because he doesn't get in his own way. He is thus, in this sense, completely transparent.
The nights are getting shorter now. I can almost see the light change. Goats. I don't think I've been a zebra yet. Know what I meant to do. There we go. Yeah, I haven't been a zebra. I am zebra. And a camel. Jesus, that doesn't sound very good. I'm a turtle. Or a tortoise. Yeah, tortoises are the ones that live on land. Turtles live in the waters. I think, most of the time. Ooh. Ooh. Gonna just dance. Have them dance around. And have a baby turtle. Is that a giraffe? It is. I'm a hedgehog! Oh my god, it's so cute! What is this? An armadillo? Hell yeah. Work as hard as you can, but not so hard as to make yourself a victim. Work without desire for sympathy or admiration. Only wish that your actions be worthy of a good hedgehog. What doesn't hurt you can only prolong your inevitable death. I mean, when you put it like that... Sounds like a human version of a fucking air horn.
Do you know, if you study your body and its dynamics, you will find that you are fighting all the time. Most people are, some aren't, but most people are fighting the external world all the time. Very many people are afraid that they will fall apart or somehow disintegrate if they don't make efforts to hold themselves together, or else that they will be disintegrated by some outside agency if they're not constantly on the alert like this, all around, you see, to protect themselves. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm inviting you to become immensely aware of the fact that if you do that at all, that you do it. And that you have, therefore, this sense of being alone, of being a particular, separate form that is unlike any other form on Earth. That's just you. And concentrate on that.
So those guys don't like me, apparently, because I'm a rattlesnake. So that's good to know. Can't even have a baby because I'm only this lone rattlesnake. I dare you to love me without any motive. I am crazy, though. Well, let me talk to that thing. Oop, did not mean to... Whatever. I'm gonna... Alien continent. Obsidian crystal, huh? What the hell? Holaria. Interesting. Not really sure what those are. Aside from being aliens and spheres that seem like they're very reflective. Feel no correct connection to these rocks around me. Literally no point asserting myself to these chumps. I know I'm better. Floob? Little grass floobs? Interesting. And Situna? Jurina? Yeah, all just completely alien made up stuff, I guess. That's actually really cool. The inmost depths.
As you focus on that sensation of distinctness, we'll even call this one separateness, the thing to do with all feelings that you don't like is to experience them as deeply as possible. And go into the inmost depths of loneliness, and indeed, let us say, the inmost depths of selfishness. Because you see, the sensation of being you, this curious, lonely center of awkward sensitivity, subject to the most peculiar feelings and pains and anxieties and all that sort of thing, all that is an essential prerequisite for feeling something else. These two experiences go together. So what anyone or any being whatsoever who has a sense of centrality, who has a sense of selfhood, who has a sense of identity, that sense of identity is inseparable from something else going on that is defined as not being me, as not being under my control, and that may jump at any time.
Great, worthy of never beginning it. You can almost see the millions of others from their duty, play their great harmony. All this shall come to pass, except for me. I'll keep going forever, and if I choose to die, the world will die with me. Pim? Oh, fungus, huh? I'm getting severely sidetracked. Flope and Shamare. Obsidian crystals. I'm getting a boop boop on a thing. I'm a colored crystal. There are no accidents. Whenever you find yourself obstructed, figure out how you can make use of it and move on. That's a good point. Well, let me check my phone. Let it go into autoplay for a second. I never figured out what that thing was. It looks like a virus, though. Like, it looks like a large, like, typical virus, but, like, just enlarged up to a certain degree. Alright, so theoretically, if I let it go in autoplay, it'll continue to move along until I eventually get closer. I think. To the Golden Gate. Because it's transforming into different things. Theoretically, it'll make its way back to the right planet that I need, the right continent that I need. All that shiz. Now we're in the 4th dimension, if I remember correctly. Now we've gone back into microscopic. I'm a gemstone. Floating next to a TARDIS. Tardigrade. I called it a TARDIS because they're so close. But it's not a TARDIS. I just watched too much Doctor Who when I was younger, so that was the first word that came to mind. Snow chunk, huh? I wish there was a setting under autoplay to just be like, take me to gate. That'd be kind of cool. Oh man, I am gonna have to call it soon though. I'm finally hitting that second wall of just not being conscious. Is that the Golden Gate? I made it. I made it. I made it. I made it. I've done it. I knew letting it go on its own for a while would be a great idea. I am the Golden Gate. There's still so much other. Alright, let's listen to this. Good. Now my title is not going to be a liar. You're not going to make a liar out of me. It's a seal! A rather good thing to know. So I'm going to listen to this real quick, and then we're going to descend into the gate, see what's up there, and then go from that point.
So, what I want you to understand is that these two sensations, one of being the lonely, central, sensitive, vulnerable self, living in the midst of a world that feels other, but is not under your control. I want to try and show you that these two sensations are really one sensation, or rather two aspects of one sensation. You couldn't have the one experience without the other experience. Now, this is a rather good thing to know, because it means that you won't panic if you discover this. People who suffer from chronic anxiety are always in doubt, you see, about this relationship between what I feel as myself and what I feel as something else.
Interesting hypothesis. Alright, last thought, and then we're descending into the gate. Let's see what this is now. Everything is boring, fleeting, and contemptible. The same now as it's always been. That's a lot of statements that you have no proof to back up. Say what? I'm a wine bottle. Oh, is this all the man-made stuff? No, not all of it, because, like, the main structures and stuff were outside of the gate. So what is this supposed to represent? I feared it. I feared it all and then made sure I was always as safe as possible whatever happened. I never realized how badly this would serve me. What are you? Hippo, trash, space junk. I am confused. I am the most unique thing in the universe. What the fuck? I thought I was special. I deserved more. I mean, look at me. Do I look normal to you? None of this looks normal to me, buddy. You know, I took the whole thing too seriously. I wish I realized what a game it all was. There's nothing but sadness here, and it goes on for miles and miles. I feel personally called out by that, took everything too seriously. Thought it was, I should have realized it was a game thing. But Whatever, it's fine. So many times could have asked him out. I never did. Never did. I never really knew my father, not the way I should have. He was never a real person to me. I was tricked. I never should have come here. Now I can't leave. I'm the most unique thing in the universe. I have to be. There is no other possibility. Warped runes. I worked my entire life. I put it on my kids. I told them it was for them, but really I just wanted more for myself. I blew it. Cyber vein? All I see are all things I want. Broken brain. What a terrible waste. The fuck was that? I wish I talked to my mother more. I wish I called more. There was so much more time. And now there's none. Hold on, hold on. I'm Warped Island, Black Alphabet, Trash Sphere, Cyber Vein, Yippapo. Ow, 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 ow. Warped Runes and Broken Brain. Weird. So I don't know what that beep boop stuff was earlier. Oh yeah, studio reconnection successful. I feel like maybe I lost internet for like a split second. But this is the inside of... I'm gonna actually hold on and I'm gonna check my stream and make sure that I'm still actually live, because it's saying the stream was continuing, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, we should be good. Well, this is not what I was expecting from inside the Golden Gate. I don't know what I was expecting, not really much, but like this is even weirder than I thought it was gonna be. I hate myself, I hate myself. Hate myself, and I hate you. Nothing is normal. I followed all the rules, you know? Did everything my parents taught me to, but over the years I became a living husk of a person. I never listened to myself, and by the time I tried, there was nothing there. My parents tried to do all the right things, but we never saw it that way. I lost it all. It's all gone. I tried to tell everyone, but they wouldn't listen. Now it's just me again. My children, I won't ever see them again. I neglected them so much. Always focusing on my own issues. I can't explain it. That's what seemed important at the time. They all grew up to hate me. Or worse, ignore me. I would give everything only to hear their little voices one more time. All my life I've been afraid to step out of line. I've been on rails for years, now it's too late. No way of doing it over again. On the bright side, you... Never mind. Nothing is friendly here. Everything is hardened. Bitter, lonely, and sad. My children never spoke to me, and now they never will. I had the biggest house you've ever seen. Gigantic. Now I have an entire wasteland of garbage. What might have been? I hate this place and I hate you. It's all my fault. I'm so confused. I spent the last 23 years of my life filled with rage for my sister. We shared a room for 10 years. She was my best friend who knew me better than anyone. Somehow I blocked her out. I felt like I needed to. She was on her way out before I found myself here. I never got to say goodbye. The fuck was that fart noise? My life is ruined. My world is ruined. There's nothing but ruin, ruin, ruin everywhere. Thought I wanted this, but it was all pointless. What's up, Austin? Ooh. There's nothing. When you get to the end, nothing. This is hell. Real, actual hell. I worked so hard, so much, my marriage fell apart. There's a lot of things, of course. It all added up, but I never took the blame, or realized I had any. There are others that still want to get in here? Wow. I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. This place is hell. It's a total nightmare. You need to get me out of here. I kind of got everything I hoped for, but then I had got more hopes too. I wound up here. I left everything behind for this. Everything I've ever had. This is the unpromised land. I knew my grandparents, but I didn't really. Grown-ups were never real to me until I became one. I'm the president of this garbage dump, and I hate it. This isn't anything like I expected. I tell my children nothing, only to scrimp and save. And worry about yourself. They all wound up as bitter and alone as me. You know, it could have gone so many ways. I thought that if I played it safe, everything would be okay. I'd never embarrass myself, and that would end up well. I need to get out of here. Everything here hates each other. I spent my life searching for this place. Now I wish I'd never found it. I never got to tell my parents how much I appreciated them. I had a lot of time. I just kept pushing them to the edges of my life as much as possible. I wanted them there. I'm reaching levels of personal sadness that shouldn't be possible. Please, help me suicide myself. I've had enough. Jesus. Please, please help me. I wished for a different death. I never spoke to my parents after I left home. My whole path in life was a way of showing them how dumb they were. I get it now, though. I understand. I just wish I did sooner. This game is super weird. Yeah, it is. It is really fucking weird. I forget my name. I forget where I came from. I forget everything. How's the audio levels, by the way? I tried to be practical, you know? I went through it doing what I thought it would be reliable. I don't know if any of it was. This is no way to be. They don't let you die here. It just goes on and on. There were many times that my friends all went out together. Birthdays, weddings, trips. I missed them all so I could worry about myself. I missed all of it so I could accumulate more things. What a waste. This is the absolute most incredibly boring moment of my entire life. Everything sounds good, not much noise. Yeah, it's mostly ambient noises and stuff. Right now, this one. There's no need to feel happy. That will only lead to more sadness. Is this hell? I expected it to be much nicer. I just feel wrong. I didn't used to feel wrong. If only I stopped wanting more and more. Can't type. There's a lot of typos. The world is set up wrong. It's just set up wrong. We're trapped. Where did all my things go? I lost everything. Yeah, I mean, can't take it through past death. To pass except for my name, I left everything understands that. Warped anatomy, huh? I just feel wrong. Oh yeah, I already got that one. So a lot of these are just the same thing now. This is the unpromised land, yeah. There's gotta be a way to get out of here. I'm a piano. Yeah, all these are like the same now. The hell are these? Those lemon slice floating around? Slice of bacon? Honey? I'm so confused. I am a pancake now too, and onions. Yeah, this game was weird to begin with, but like this is just a whole new level of weird. There's gotta be a way out of here. Cocktail, teapot. Like before this, it was more cinematic than, or not cinematic, more philosophical. I can talk, because I totally haven't been up for like almost 30 hours, maybe more. I don't know how long I've been up. Too long, too damn long. Bannered street lamp. It was more philosophical and like more about like the interactions of the universe and everything and how everything's interconnected. And then I went into the place it told me to go, and then just this. It's odd. It just took a sudden turn for the very bizarre. I am a modern streetlight. I'm an unknown planet, huh? Ooh. The fuck? I am a color cone. There's random ass stakes? From the complexities of space and life to the humble flying onion. Yes. I mean, you gotta admit, it does have layers. I'm steak now. My life is steak. And Banana's just fucking wandering around. Is that a red panda? Is this like supposed to be some sort of weird micro universe? Or like, I don't know. Oh Jesus. Novel. Microscopic books, apparently. Open notebooks. Like, at least before this, it had some sort of semblance of reality. Now it's just, like, all sorts of bizarre. Is that a fucking floating pickle? Yeah, this game is nuts. I agree with you. I love it. Yeah, I'm a pickle. Oh, it's a cucumber. It's a proto pickle. Let's be honest here. A proto pickle. Beer, martini. Oh, I thought it was like a bottle of pills, not a beer. Everything here is frustrated. They all want to go back to the world that created them. But here they are, trapped in the world they created instead. This appears to be the one place we can't think ourselves out of. The harder we try, the more lost we get. This place isn't outside the universe, just a small corner of it that seems convincing. So much so that you can't convince anyone out of it. And so I've come to stay quiet, waiting for someone like you to come along and listen. As you have found yourself all the way here, you probably realize I could have nothing to say to you that you don't already know. And you can see that my thoughts and all the other thoughts of the world are your thoughts. By listening to me, you are listening to yourself. Why hold on to these thoughts, then? There's nothing precious about any of them. You can always let go of every single thought in your head. Of course, you'll be able to find them out in the world if you ever need reminding. So, If you can see a way with your thoughts, you can see your way out of here. Good luck, everyone. Okay, I have to empty my mind in order to leave. Huh. Before I can ascend out of here. Interesting. I want to explore a little bit more, and then I will do that. It's a computer! Oh, weird. You can see... Oh my... Okay, that's fucking trippy and meta as hell. Soap. Dustpan and brush. Assuming I'm corn now. I'm a loose diamond. Just roving packs of shoes. Yep, red panda. Yeah, there's a reason why I chose to play this game after the other one that I played earlier, while I was completely sleep deprived and in a trippy kind of mindset anyway. I figured it'd probably be a good fit, and I was right. So is this a metaphor for getting trapped deep within your own mind by philosophizing too much? Is that what this is? Is this a warning not to think too hard? Otherwise you might go fucking insane. Tiny ass chairs, tiny ass tables. I think those were, It's weird, all the scale has gone so far out. Like, all the scale is, like, thrown out the window. Because, like, certain things that should be larger than others are way smaller, and it's just like a really bad acid trip. Grape juice. Nice. Hell yeah. Getting all that tech, getting all that tech. I want to collect as much as I can here, because I'm not sure if I'm going to stream this game again. Because I feel like I've basically reached most of the ending. I guess it really depends on how much of an outcrying of support I get for it. And like whether people want me to stream it more. Just to find whatever, like, few things I've missed. Because there's a decent amount of the categories. I don't know if there's a way to... Do I lose all my progress if I get out of here? That's the other question. I'm not completely sure if I'm gonna lose all my progress and have to start from the beginning. Fuck is this thing? Dark magic. Non-solid category, a whole new category, huh? Normal star, X something, white alphabet, other space junk, dark magic. Yes, indeed. Wooden toy trees. Pinwheels. I am Skip. This is a container apparently, and a porta potty. Chinese math. Well, this is definitely some sort of trip. A baby bottle. Aw, sweet. I'm gonna be a bunch of different types of cheese. Cake. Hamburger. Pineapple. Still a lot of food left to get. Those ties? I feel like there's a bunch of plants that I can only get while I'm in here. Wild wheat. Artificial desert plant. Still probably a bunch of them left out on like other planets and things like that outside of this area. After I like delete all my mind thoughts or whatever, I do the mind dump. But I want to make sure I get some of the stuff that's in here. Yes! Whole shitload of doors. Ornate bed. There's a lot of different furniture too. And I can dance and create more baby doors and other things. Plain wood chair. I can make them dance. Real fake doors. I just made a baby. Those butterflies? Look like them. How do I become butterfly? There we go. Oh, it's a whole flock of butterflies. They move real slow. Blue Morpho Swarm. Street lamp. Become a bottle of booze. Glass of wine. Almost done with the drinks. 60-something%. Question is, where are the rest of them? Out the blocks. Just kind of rolling around aimlessly now at this point. Let's get a better perspective real quick. There's a handful of things I still haven't gotten. The fuck was that? Public trash can. Excellent. Basketballs, bowling balls. Tennis rackets. Fence. Vertical wood fence. Wooden train? Toy train, yeah. I feel like the rest of this is just gonna be me, like, collecting a bunch of random shit. It's almost like a more laid-back version of Katamari Damacy. Katamari Damacy? Damacy? I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. I think it's Damacy. I need those baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. Chillers. Actually, I'm pretty hungry now. Now let's go back to being this thing. I'm a laptop. My god, those noises. I don't think there's really much else here, aside from like the trumpet. Oh, no, there's a few more. Sake, maybe? Orange juice. Oh, that makes more sense. I was looking at that way wrong. Eyeballs? Okay! Apparently, eyeballs count as their own character. The dance of the eyeballs. Such a delicate dance. Alright, okay, enough of that. Satellite. I lost track of the planet. There it is. A whole new category, huh? Getting closer and closer to being a human. Yeah, little by little. I'm working my way up. I just need to assemble eyeballs, brain, everything else. Slices of bacon for the flesh, maybe? I don't know. Alright. Gonna dick around on the planet, I think, a little bit more after this gramophone. So I don't think there's really anything else up here. Delicious bacon flesh. Yes, exactly. I am an E. Airplane. Floating dominoes. I'm a toy airplane, huh? Or those aren't dominoes at all. Those are dice. Dice is obviously what I meant. Yeah, my brain is not functioning anymore. I am an ED? Okay, I can't dance apparently. Wild garlic. Tree. Oh, different type of butterflies. Monarch swarm. Yes, I have finally become the mighty monarch. Nothing around here. Nothing there. I'm gonna go hunt down that thing. I am a translate manipulator. Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, got this one. I'm a digger. I dig, and I think goes right through the ground, and it digs apparently. Cool. Keyboards, everything else. Scale manipulator? Oh, now it's just breaking the fourth wall even more. Fire extinguisher? There's a lot of tools left to find. Holy crap. I don't know if they're all down here or not, but alright. Grab a few more of these real quick, like. And then I'll empty my mind and see what happens. And after that, I'll... What? Wait, what? The hell? Did it just automatically do it for me? I are confused. I didn't touch anything then. Why did it do that? Well, apparently it decided to take over and empty my mind for me because it heard me talking about it. That's kind of disconcerting. But either way, that means I should be able to ascend out of here now. Cursive house. Alright, up we go. Fuck it, let's ascend. There is something quite satisfying about watching stuff just circle around itself like this. Alright. Enough of that. Orange Island. Slice of bacon is bigger. Let's do it. Well, I think that means that we've officially beat the game as far as story mode goes. So aside from collecting the remaining categories, I don't think there's much else left to do. There might be a handful more thoughts to find. Maybe some more of the talky things. Frogs and penguins floating out in space, along with shrimp. What the hell? Weather balloons. Or hot air balloons, not weather balloons. Congratulations. Tutorial complete? What? Will now bond instantly when entering new things. Oh, documentary mode available. Wait. What? That was the tutorial? You're fucking with me. What? Hold on. So yeah, there's a lot of categorization stuff to do still. Megaloceros, harbor seal, woolly mammoths. Alright, hold on. What does documentary do? Annotations? Hold on. What happens if I let it go on to autoplay now? Ptarmigan. The rock ptarmigan, Lagopus muta, is a medium-sized game bird in the grouse family. It is now simply as of ptarmigan in the UK and in Canada, where it's the official bird. It's just the Wikipedia thing for ptarmigan. Ptarmigan? Ptarmigan. Okay. Well, I mean, I think all that's really left is categorization, like cataloging everything that I haven't found, and apparently Wikipedia facts on the different things. If I want to keep it in documentary mode, where it'll just randomly teleport between stuff, and in any case, the fireworks are celebration enough for me to say that this is finished. If you guys, when you're watching this, decide that you want to see more streams of this in the future, leave a comment down below, and I will stream more of this, I guess, as I try to catalog everything. But other than that, I don't really see myself streaming this much more often, like, ever. It was a really fun experience, and it's definitely an interesting and trippy game. But I feel like as far as stream material goes, I've basically reached the end of this whole thing. Wait a minute, what's that? Let's go over here real quick and investigate this thing. And I think I'm going to call this stream there, because I definitely need to get some sleep. Your size is always relative to the things around you. You can change your size whenever you want, but note that by making yourself bigger, you also make the world smaller. There's no right or wrong size to be. Oh. Okay. Cool. I move a lot slower when I'm a bigger size, apparently.
Every living being is a manifestation of everything that there is. Crazy. But the thing is that what we do is to try and prevent people from realizing that this is so. By pointing out to them in the most subtle ways their limitations, and seeing if we can phase them, make them uncertain, make them unsteady. It's like all sorts of games that you can play, where if a person wavers, he loses. But people play that with each other all the time. And the reason they do it is not the reason they think. It is that if everybody were perfectly clear that they were a manifestation of the divine being, nothing very much would happen. But so as to keep everybody a little bit unclear about it, the whole thing bugs itself and creates these little doubts. So what we're beginning with is these little doubts, you see, these sensations of blockage, of not being very sure of yourself, but knowing very much indeed that you are yourself and that you're alone and it's all up to you. The terrible feeling of responsibility. So what I'm trying to point out to you is if you intensify that feeling and bring it to its highest pitch, you will immediately realize that you are aware of it only by virtue of the entire sensation of something else. Something defined as not you. So the feeling of not you and the feeling of you are relative. They go together, and you can't have the one without the other. And if you can't have the one without the other, that means there's a secret conspiracy between the two. They are really the same, but pretending to be different. Because the whole idea is if there wasn't a difference, you wouldn't know anything was happening. There'd be just yourself echoing back at you, you see. And you'd feel like a madman in a hall of mirrors, where everything you went was just yourself, you see, in all directions, just you. Well, that's no fun.
And on that note, I think this is a good place to stop this stream. I can't tell if this is all in my head or not anymore. This is fucking ridiculous enough that I might just be dreaming right now. I hope you guys have a good night. Like I said before, leave a comment down below if you want me to stream more of this. Otherwise, if you want to check the game out on your own time and play it yourself, link is also in the description down below. It's on the Steam store for, I don't think, too much money. But, yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this one. It's been a hell of a journey. Well, thank you for stopping in, Austin. I'm glad you got to share the end of this experience with me. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just flabbergasted. On that note, bye.